new contract relationship rom-com, Business Proposal, kicks off with a delightful mix of charm, humor, and classic romantic tropes. Our story begins with a perfect blend of humor, charm, and classic romantic tropes. The first glimpse of our protagonist, Kang Tae-moo, on Hyosiep, is nothing short of breathtaking. Tae-moo, with his impeccable looks and commanding presence, strides through an airport, leaving women in awe. His perfectly styled hair and chiseled features make him look almost otherworldly, and his indifference to the attention he garners only adds to his allure. Excessively tropey in the best way possible, our new characters are full of charm, laughs, and witty dialogue. And I'm here for every millisecond of it. The opening scene sets the tone for the rest of our story as we're introduced to our leading man, Kang Tae-moo. He, like many leading men who have come before him, is so damn attractive that he stops women in their tracks. His hair is perfectly styled and so dark it absorbs planets. His legs are long enough to step over skyscrapers. He's fantastical, with a face and body that are too perfect to be real. Our first glimpse of Tae-moo is of his webtoon counterpart, as he struts through an airport looking so fine that he gives whiplash to every woman he passes. But like all successful and handsome CEO types, he's indifferent and conditioned to having people fawn over his appearance and wealth, while Tae-moo can part seas with his appearance. Our leading lady, Shin Ha-ri, Kim Se-young, can clear a path with her stench. A researcher and member of the food development team at Go Food, she has the occupational misfortune of smelling like her current ingredients. And the odor of her newest mackerel-based recipe has people covering their noses as she and her team members arrive at the inauguration of their new company president. Rumor has it that he's ridiculously handsome, but Ha-ri is doubtful, since the new president is the grandson of the company chair. Man Kang Dae-koo, Lee Deok-hwa, a hush descends upon the crowd, and long legs stride across the stage. The camera pans up, and it's Cha Sung-hoon, Kim Min-kyu, Tae-moo's equally attractive friend and chief secretary. With a blank face, he reads Tae-moo's prepared speech, which begins with a verbal middle finger to his grandfather for arranging a ceremony he didn't want. Grandpa is none too pleased with Tae-moo's workaholic behavior, and decides it's time to propose a special project for Tae-moo. Eagerly assuming it's an opportunity for more work, Tae-moo leans in close, and Grandpa happily reveals that the project is, wait for it, marriage. It is this proclamation that sets our plot in motion. Tae-moo does his best to convince Grandpa that he's uninterested, but Grandpa is as feisty as the chaebols in his favorite drama, and won't take no or leave me the hell alone for an answer. Perhaps the only thing that could slow him down is if Tae-moo was in a relationship with Sung-hoon, but Sung-hoon deadpans that, even if he was gay, Tae-moo isn't his type. Tae-moo pouts over the discovery that his bromance is one-sided. It's not often that Tae-moo is rejected, but when it happens, as we'll see later, it's not something that he easily forgets. Although Sung-hoon may not harbor a secret crush on Tae-moo, he's still willing to offer up some sagely advice, and suggests that Tae-moo lean into his grandfather's matchmaking scheme. Go on the 20 blind dates, and if you find a lady worth marrying, you don't have to waste time on any more. Sung-hoon just hopes that Tae-moo will find a marriageable woman within the first 10 dates. Otherwise, they're going to have to do some international traveling. Tae-moo grows silent, but his expression indicates that his inner wheels are turning. It's clear to us that Tae-moo has taken Sung-hoon's advice slightly different than he intended, and he suspiciously agrees to go on the first date. And who is he scheduled to go on a date with first? That's right, it's Jin Young Seo, Seo Lin-ah, Ha-ri's bestie, who is equally annoyed by her matchmaking daddy's constant attempts to wed her off. She's at lunch with Ha-ri when she gets the phone call from her father that he's arranged yet another blind date for her later that night. As luck would have it, though, Ha-ri, who often fills in for Young Seo on her blind dates, is a bit strapped for cash after having the worst birthday ever. While Tae-moo was busy refusing to comply with step one of his grandfather's plan to get some grandbabies, Ha-ri got her hopes up thinking her longtime crush and part-time friend Lee Min-woo, Sung Won-suk, was about to finally gift her with a train ticket out of the friend zone and into Girlfriendville. Instead, he gave her a pair of concert tickets to see her favorite band. Not only were the tickets not for her favorite band, but he suggested she take a date, a man, not young SEO, with her. So much for getting out of the friend zone. She now has a street named after her there. After that, her birthday continued to roll downhill. She was understandably in a foul mood when she got home, but she still helped out her family in their chicken restaurant, which led her coming to her family's defense when they got in an argument with the restaurant owner across the street. During the altercation, Ha-ri accidentally broke the man's restaurant sign, and now she owes him 800,000 won, which is why young SEO is able to bribe Ha-ri into being her stand-in for her recently scheduled blind date. Instead of using their tried and true fake exorcism ploy to scare away young SEO's date, young SEO decides they should go with a tough girl image, which is essentially club wear, hair extensions, and heavy makeup. After Ha-ri's makeover, she shows up at the arranged meeting place, psyched to be the worst possible date ever. She's caught by surprise when she first sees Tae-moo's attractive face, but after swapping business cards with her jaw-droppingly handsome date, she's even more shocked to discover he's her company's new president. Eep. Panic sets in, but she plows ahead and uses every trick in her arsenal to be as off-putting as possible. It's all very how to lose a guy in 10 minutes, but he's frustratingly unfazed by her behavior, even when she claims she has breast implants named Rachel and Samantha. If that wasn't enough to scare him off, surely the unscripted encounter with a random woman who mistook Ha-ri for her husband's mistress did the trick, right? Wrong. Ha-ri and young SEO's celebratory night out at a Noribang is interrupted by a phone call from young SEO's father, who happily reports that Tae-moo wants to marry her. Say what now, given how awful she was on the date? Ha-ri assumes Tae-moo must want to marry young SEO for her family, but the truth is that Tae-moo decided the simplest way to avoid additional blind dates and interruptions to his schedule is to get married and be done with it. There's just one problem with Tae-moo's plan. The woman he picked doesn't want to marry him. Ha-ri meets Tae-moo for what she hopes is the last time, and coolly tells him that she's not interested in a man who looks like an Archaeopteryx. Tae-moo is properly insulted, but, as I said before, it's not often he's rejected, and never so creatively. So, of course, he's unable to forget the woman who compared him to a prehistoric bird. Nah, he just has trouble recognizing her. Despite young SEO's assertions that Ha-ri won't encounter her company's very busy and elusive president while she's at work, Ha-ri keeps running into him. It's like the trope gods have it out for her or something. Unfortunately, the more Ha-ri tries to avoid him, the more she stands out. During her first encounter with him at work, she drops her employee ID in her rush to escape, and Tae-moo recognizes her name when he picks it up. She's an employee whose work he's been casually keeping an eye on. Luckily, when he looks her up in the employee database, she's wearing glasses in her photograph and looks totally different from the woman he went on a date with. Ah yes, the old Clark Kent. Works every time. Her second run-in with the boss is much more eventful and hilarious. After spotting him across the first-floor lobby, Ha-ri's panicked attempt at hiding sends her slipper sailing across the room. It smacks Tae-moo right in his face, causing his nose to bleed. Partially afraid that she will be recognized and equally terrified that she will get into trouble for wounding the company president, she runs away. But Tae-moo follows. Ha-ri fails to outrun the former track and field star, and he corners her in an elevator. She nervously tries to hide her face, but when Tae-moo commends her on her previous projects, she lifts her head in pride and rambles on about her love for cooking. It's downright adorable how her eyes light up, and Tae-moo's expression suggests that he thinks so, too. Meanwhile, young SEO goes to meet Tae-moo and confess the truth, but she gets sidetracked when she runs into Sung-hoon. Yes, that's right, Sung-hoon is the mysterious man whose handsome face she's been trying to locate. Too bad their little reunion is interrupted by Tae-moo, who is positively fuming after learning that he was duped by Ha-ri and young SEO. Poor Sung-hoon has the unlucky task of managing Tae-moo's temper, but his attempt at stress cleaning his apartment doesn't calm him. Then, to add to Tae-moo's anger, Grandpa goes and ramps up his matchmaking efforts. When Tae-moo lies and says he has a girlfriend, Grandpa announces that he will arrange a press conference to announce Tae-moo's relationship to the world and put an end to all future matchmaking schemes. Whoops, didn't think that one through, did you, Tae-moo? Over the course of one afternoon, Tae-moo goes on 7 blind dates, back to back. The mood is set, with each woman he meets in the same swanky restaurant and greeted with the same monotone, "Nice to meet you." Tired and grumpy, he finds himself nostalgically longing for Ha-ri. Compared to the snoozeworthy women he's met, she's definitely full of spunk and flair. Which means the decision to marry Ha-ri, or rather young SEO, remains unchanged. And now, all Tae-moo has to do is convince her to play along. Ha-ri, on the other hand, is done with this madness. After being unable to avoid her boss all week, she is desperate to remove the stress of avoiding him from her life. The monetary benefits of accepting Tae-moo's deal to be his fake girlfriend are hard to ignore, but she's determined to keep her real identity as his employee a secret. Too bad fate, and Tae-moo's persistence, isn't making it easy, and fate, in the form of Tae-moo showing up at her house unannounced to pitch his case for their fake relationship, strikes again when Ha-ri's brother arrives home. Ha-ri shoves Tae-moo down the stairs to avoid detection, and in true trope fashion, he catches her as she falls and they accidentally kiss. The second episode picks up with Ha-ri reeling from Tae-moo's unexpected proposal. She tries to comprehend how he discovered her true identity, but Tae-moo's calm demeanor and firm resolve leave her anxious and confused. Despite her efforts to deter him, Tae-moo is genuinely interested in Ha-ri and insists on discussing their future. Ha-ri's world turns upside down as she navigates this unexpected engagement. She struggles to balance her professional life with the growing complications of her personal life. As she gets to know Tae-moo better, she discovers layers to his personality that surprise her. Despite his serious exterior, Tae-moo has a thoughtful and caring side that slowly begins to endear him to her. Meanwhile, Tae-moo finds himself increasingly captivated by Ha-ri's authenticity and charm. He appreciates her straightforwardness and the way she stands up for herself, qualities that are rare in his world. Their interactions are filled with humorous misunderstandings and heartfelt. The episode then delves into the dynamics between Ha-ri and young SEO, whose friendship remains strong despite the disparities in their wealth. Young SEO's down-to-earth nature and creative solutions, like turning marker scribbles into a flower design on her skirt, make her a lovable character. The bond between Tae-moo and Sung-hoon is also explored, showcasing their close friendship despite the power imbalance at work. Tae-moo's stress cleaning at Sung-hoon's apartment is a humorous yet relatable scene that highlights their unique dynamic. Tae-moo's relentless pursuit of Ha-ri continues as he tries to convince her to accept his marriage proposal. He offers her a lucrative deal to be his fake girlfriend, but Ha-ri is initially resistant. The stress of avoiding her boss is becoming too much for her, and she considers the financial benefits of Tae-moo's offer. However, she is determined to keep her identity as his employee a secret. During a chance encounter at work, Ha-ri accidentally hits Tae-moo in the face with her slipper, causing a nosebleed. Mortified, she tries to hide, but Tae-moo follows her and commends her on her previous projects. This leads to a hilarious and endearing exchange where Ha-ri's passion for her job shines through, further intriguing Tae-moo. Young SEO, in an attempt to cover for Ha-ri, meets with Tae-moo to explain the situation. However, things take an unexpected turn when she encounters Sung-hoon, the mysterious man she has been trying to locate. Their reunion is interrupted by Tae-moo, who is fuming over the revelation that he was deceived. Tae-moo invades Sung-hoon's apartment to vent his frustration, but his stress-cleaning routine fails to calm him down. Tae-moo's frustration reaches a peak when his grandfather ramps up the matchmaking efforts, forcing him to go on multiple blind dates in one day. Tired and grumpy, Tae-moo finds himself nostalgic for Ha-ri, appreciating her spunk and flair compared to the boring dates. In a bold move, Tae-moo lies to his grandfather, claiming he already has a girlfriend he intends to marry. Now, Tae-moo must convince Ha-ri to play along. Desperate and persistent, he shows up at her house unannounced to make his case. Ha-ri, trying to avoid her brother, accidentally topples over Tae-moo, resulting in a classic accidental kiss. The episode ends with this trope-filled moment, leaving viewers eager for more.